TV currents. President Tinubu in a meeting with NNPC MD Mele Kyari. Presidential Tribunal adjourns INEC's defense to July 4th. Buhari wasted Nigeria's time for 8 years. Sheikh Hussaini. On sports, Milan tabled 20 million euros for Chukwueze. I am Morire Rebila Lawa. The news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is currently in a meeting with executives from Shell Petroleum Development Company and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), led by Mele Kyari, the General Managing Director. Information report that while specific details of the discussion remain undisclosed at this time, it is highly probable that the meeting centers around the recent fuel price adjustment and the consequential removal of petrol subsidy implemented by the President. The Shell delegation, led by Ms. Zol Yonovic, Global Upstream Director at Shell Petroleum Development Company, include notable members such as Mr. Peter Costello, Mr. Osage Okumbo, and Mr. Ma De Jong. Among those present at this crucial meeting held at the State House in Abuja are Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila, Ms. Olu Verhegen, Special Advisor on Energy to the President, Mr. Zacchaeus Adedeji, Special Advisor on Revenue Matters to the President, and Mr. Mele Kyari, the GMD of NNPC. Moving on to the next story. The presidential petition election in court has adjourned to Tuesday, July 4th, the hearing of the defense filed by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The court on June 23 fixed Monday, July 3rd, for respondents to open their case in defense of the petition filed by aggrieved parties challenging the outcome of the February 25th election, wherein Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerged as the president. According to the schedule, the Electoral Commission was able to advance their argument against the petition filed by the Labour Party and its presidential candidate, Peter Obi, on Monday morning. During Monday's proceedings, counsel to INEC, A.P. Mahmoud San, informed the court that the commission had billed 3 witnesses to give their testimonies in aid of the defense. However, he said that the witness who was scheduled to testify was unavailably absent from the court. He thereby and thereafter sought after that the matter be moved to the next day. The PEPC, headed by Justice Aruna Amani, heeded the request following the agreement of other parties in the case. The 3 aggrieved parties and the candidates are challenging the outcome of the presidential election in court. The petitioners are the LP and OB, the People's Democratic Party and its candidate Atiku Abubakar, and the Allied People's Movement. Following the parties, together with the candidates in separate petitions, dragged the Electoral Commission, the President, his Vice Kashim Shettima, and their party, the APC, to court. They had closed their case on June 23, leaving the stage for respondents in the matter to table their defense before the courts.
We are really surprised and shocked because having had the Salah holiday, the weekends and all that, more than a week, we thought that they would have been ready because on our part, we prepared so well that we were ready to embark on a demolition work. But that is their case. They came to court and said that they wanted to, they proposed to have 3 witnesses today. The first one was unavailable due to domestic reasons. We were not told what happened to the other 2. Therefore, they are asking for adjournment to tomorrow. We are ready to come here tomorrow.
There is another story coming on. Former Kaduna Central Senator Sheikh Hussaini has knocked former President Muhammadu Buhari. He described Buhari as the worst ruler in the history of Nigeria and his 8-year tenure as a waste. Sani made the claims on Sunday in Abuja during the launch of the book, The Nigerian Dream, written by activist Moses Paul. The rights activist said Muhammadu Buhari wasted Nigeria's time for 8 years and he appointed people who failed and he kept on extending their period in office. That is very wrong. He has accused all previous governments of corruption. All the ills of Nigeria, he accused all the previous government of being responsible for them. Yet his government has proven the worst in the history of Nigeria. The former lawmaker said Nigeria can be a united and prosperous nation if the leaders lead with the fear of God and the determination and commitment to fulfill your pledges. Moving on to the next story. Governor Umar Bago of Niger has dissolved the State Independent Electoral Commission. This is contained in a statement issued by the Secretary to the State Government, SSG, Abubakar Usman, on Sunday. The dissolution, the statement said, took effect from May 29. Members of the commission are directed to hand over all property of the state government in their possession to the most senior director with immediate effect, he stated. The Niger State House of Assembly had on September 27, 2022, sacked the chairman of NSIEC, Baba Aminu, over alleged misconduct. From Niger State to the next story. Residents of Trademore Estate have trooped out in their numbers today to protest the planned demolition of the estate by the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA. Information understands that the FCT administration had announced a plan to demolish the estate situated along the Lube Airport access following a catastrophic flood incident after heavy rainfall in the early hours of Friday, 23rd of June. The administration had declared the estate a disaster zone, adding that the decision followed the consistent and persistent threat of flooding in the estate and urged residents to evacuate promptly. The development, however, was not appreciated by residents who came out on Monday morning calling on the FCTA rather provide engineering solution than demolish houses. Some of the residents held placards that reads, "Provide engineering solution, not roadside approach. Put an end to senseless killing. Trademore Estate is not a disaster zone." Moving on to Plateau State. Farmers in Tahoe's village of Riyom local government area of Plateau State have accused herders of destroying their crops in the farm in the areas. They said the herders cut down upright maize, Irish potatoes, and garbage, among other crops. The farmers who described the incident as a deliberate move to deny them their means of livelihood said the destruction of the farm crops was uncalled for, calling on the security agencies to take action on the matter. Wang Tengwang, National Publicity Secretary of Peron Youth Movement, while confirming the incident, said that the culprit invaded the farms on Friday night and destroyed crops of over 50 hectares of farmland, adding that the farmers had reported the incident to security agencies. He said this is the deliberate destruction of over 50 hectares of farmland for maize, Irish potato, garbage, and other crops by militias at Tahoe's village of Riyom on Friday night. The villagers woke up on Saturday morning and saw their farmland completely destroyed. Moving on to the next story. No less than 5 persons have been killed and 11 others injured after suspected terrorists fired a rocket-propelled grenade at a town in Borno State. 2 anti-jihadist militias commanders told AFP on Sunday that scores of fighters attempted to invade the town of Damboa late on Friday, but met stiff resistance from the paramilitary outfit that works against and alongside the armed forces. The attack is the latest in Nigeria's 14-year jihadist conflict in the northeast, where 40,000 have died and more than 2 million have been displaced by fighting since 2009. Out of desperation, the insurgent fired an RGP rocket-propelled grenade on the town from a distance, which killed 5 people and injured 11 others, said Babakura Kolo, a militia leader in the region. The 5 dead victims were buried on Saturday, while the injured were flown to the regional capital Maiduguri aboard a helicopter for medical attention, said Ibrahim Liman, a Shusho militia commander. No less than 5 persons have been killed and 11 others injured after suspected terrorists fired a rocket-propelled grenade at a town in Borno State. 2 anti-jihadist militia commanders told on Sunday that scores of fighters attempted to invade the town of Damboa late on Friday night, but met stiff resistance from the paramilitary outfit that works alongside the armed forces. The attack is the latest in Nigeria's 14-year jihadist conflict in the northeast, where 40,000 have died and more than 2 million have been displaced by the fighting since 2009. Out of desperation, the insurgents fired an RGP rocket-propelled grenade on the town from a distance, which killed 5 people and injured 11 others, said Babakura Kolo, a militia leader in the region. The 5 dead victims were buried on Saturday while the injured were flown to the regional capital, Maiduguri, aboard a helicopter for medical attention, said Ibrahim Liman, a second militia commander. The army, whose troops were in the town guarding the military base, did not immediately respond to a call seeking comment. Damboa, around 90 kilometers south of Maiduguri, which lies on the fringes of the Sambisa forest, a game reserve that has become a jihadist enclave, has been repeatedly targeted by fighters who attack residents and the military base. Although the Boko Haram jihadist group and its rival, the Islamic State West Africa province, commonly launch RPG attacks on military targets, they rarely use them on civilians. Moving on to the next story. A hotel in Onitsha, Anambra State, was gutted by fire early morning Monday. The two-story building is located around 3-3 area of the commercial city. Though the cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained, at the time of filing the report, property worth millions were said to have been lost to the inferno. Anambra Fire Chief, Engineer Martin Agbili, when contacted, was yet to respond, but police spokesperson Tochukwu Ikenga confirmed the incident, saying no life was lost in the inferno. He said, "We got the information at about 4:30 a.m. and our men were quickly deployed to the scene and cordoned off the area. We don't want the situation where people take advantage of the fire incident in the area to make away with properties that are not their own. The situation is under control. We are happy no life was lost. Our men are still there. The fire service are also there." From that story, from Anambra State, we go to the foreign story. Sierra Leone's main opposition, All People's Congress, APC, has rejected the result of the 24 June 2023 general elections and called on the Sierra Leoneans to play their part in resisting tyranny and fight for the restoration of democracy, civility, and good governance in the country. Sitting President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone People's Party, SLPP, has since been sworn in for a second term of 5 years after the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone declared him the winner of the presidential poll with 56.17% of the vote. The commission said Dr. Samura Kamara, the APC candidate, came second with 41.16%. In its latest statement issued in Freetown, the APC unequivocally rejected the announced results of the recently concluded multi-tier elections in Sierra Leone, given the glaring irregularities and violations of established electoral procedures. We demand the resignation of Chief Commissioner Mr. Mohamed Kone and all the other commissioners of the ECSL based on demonstrated bias and failure to conduct their duties impartially, the APC said, adding, "We insist on the rerun of the elections within 6 months to be overseen by credible individuals and institutions that will ensure a fair and transparent process." To end the world news this hour is a sports story. According to reports in Italy, Milan are ready to sign Samuel Chukwueze and will contact Villarreal to start negotiations in the coming days. The Rossoneri are looking to bolster Stefano Pioli's frontline this summer and want to bring in a new right winger capable of adding an extra layer to the attack. Chukwueze is Milan's top target for this, and with the club believing that he has all the qualities needed to make a difference: pace, power, creativity, and finishing. As detailed by Daniele Longo of Sports Handle, Milan have already reached an verbal agreement with Chukwueze, finding common grounds on both his salary and the length of the deal. Now, the Rossoneri will make contact with Valerie to start negotiation of a deal. The Spanish side have set a €30 million price tag on the 24-year-old, who has a year left on his contracts. With that sports story of Samuel Chukwueze having glaring chance of joining Inter Milan from Italy, we end the world news today. Before we go, some major headlines. President Tinubu in a meeting with NNPC MD Mele Kyari. Presidential Tribunal adjourns INEC's defense to July 4th. Buhari wasted Nigeria's time for 8 years with wrong people in positions. Shehu Sani. Governor Bago dissolves State Electoral Commission in Niger. And on sport, Milan table €20 million for Samuel Chukwueze. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Correct. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Benedict Imo with our please like and follow the page. For advertisements, goods and services coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen for advertisements only. Thank you for watching. I am Mori Rabila Lawa. Good evening.